Celebrities. The only people that can ruin their own careers faster than we can scroll past their latest drama. It only takes one picture, one click, one careless moment to flip fame into fallout. And as we've seen time and time again, nothing destroys a public image faster than a viral photo. Today, we're looking at the celebrities who ruined their careers with one photo. Snapshots that ended endorsements, erased reputations, and rewrote legacies overnight. From comedians who pushed too far, to politicians who thought private meant invisible, to royals who never quite understood good optics, these are the cautionary tales of modern fame. Some were caught lying, others cheating, and a few were just caught being themselves. But once the picture hit the internet, the story was no longer theirs to control. So sit back, scroll slowly, and prepare to wince, because these photos didn't just capture a moment. They captured the downfall of the celebrities who ruined their careers with one photo. Kathy Griffin. For decades, Kathy Griffin stood as one of America's most recognizable comedic voices. She wasn't just another stand-up. For years, her material centered on celebrity and popular culture, anchored by her Emmy-winning Bravo series, Kathy Griffin, My Life on the D-List, and a long-run co-hosting CNN's New Year's Eve broadcast. Her humor often danced on the edge, but in May 2017, one photograph would push her and the boundaries of comedy over the cliff. During a shoot with celebrity photographer Tyler Shields, Griffin posed holding a fake, blood-covered mask resembling then-President Donald Trump.
No, God!
The image, intended as political satire, detonated within hours. The Secret Service announced an investigation, CNN fired her, venues canceled entire tours, and endorsement deals vanished overnight. The comedian appeared publicly in tears, saying, "I went too far." But too late, the photo became a viral symbol of outrage, spreading faster than any punchline she had ever written. It was more than a scandal, it was a cultural reckoning. Was it hate speech or was it art? The event exposed how quickly public perception can collapse in the era of viral media. Griffin's story, however, didn't end in exile. In 2021, she revealed a lung cancer diagnosis, underwent surgery, and announced she was cancer-free months later. After the 2020 election, she defiantly reposted the infamous photo, this time without apology. And in 2025, she's back on stage, touring again, confronting the same audience that once canceled her. That one image, which nearly destroyed her, now defines her resilience. It's the paradox of modern fame. The picture that ruined her career also became the one that proved she could survive it. Anthony Weiner. For many younger viewers, the name Anthony Weiner might sound like just another fallen politician. But in the early 2000s, he was one of the most recognizable faces in American politics. A rising Democrat from New York, a 7-term U.S. congressman, and one of the loudest voices fighting for healthcare reform and working-class rights. Charismatic, quick-witted, and media-savvy, Weiner was seen as a future mayor or even a future senator. He thrived in the spotlight, and that's exactly what destroyed him. In May 2011, a single photo posted to his official Twitter account changed everything. A close-up of a man's torso in underwear. Clearly intended as a private message that accidentally went public, the image spread across the internet in minutes. At first, Weiner denied everything, claiming his account had been hacked. But days later, under relentless scrutiny, he confessed the photo was his, and he had been sending similar images to multiple women online. "I take full responsibility for my actions," he told reporters at a press conference that marked the abrupt end of his congressional career. The scandal might have faded with time, but Weiner couldn't stop. In 2013, while running for New York City mayor, another batch of explicit photos leaked under his online alias, Carlos Danger. And in 2017, he crossed the ultimate line, sending sexual messages to a 15-year-old. He pleaded guilty in federal court and served 21 months in prison. His scandal proved that in the age of social media, one photo can demolish decades of credibility in seconds. It's a tragic irony, one of the first politicians undone by the internet, now teaching others how not to be devoured by it. Prince Andrew. For decades, Prince Andrew, Duke of York, was known as the Queen's favorite son. A decorated Royal Navy veteran of the Falklands War and a global ambassador for British trade and charity. Handsome, confident, and connected, he lived the life of a royal diplomat. But that prestige collapsed under the weight of a single photograph. An image taken inside a quiet London townhouse in 2001. In that photo, a young Prince Andrew smiles casually, his arm wrapped around the waist of a teenage girl, Virginia Giuffre, who was then just 17 years old. Standing behind them, smiling as if nothing were unusual, is Ghislaine Maxwell, the British socialite, later convicted for recruiting minors for billionaire Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking ring. The picture was allegedly snapped in Maxwell's Belgravia home on the very night Giuffre says she was coerced into having sex with Andrew, a claim the Duke has always denied. When Epstein's criminal empire unraveled in 2019, that photo resurfaced everywhere, forcing Buckingham Palace into crisis mode. The Duke insisted, "I have no recollection of ever meeting this lady," but the denial rang hollow. His disastrous BBC Newsnight interview, meant to clear his name, instead deepened the damage. The aftermath was swift and unforgiving. The Queen stripped him of his military titles and public duties. Charities severed ties. In 2022, Andrew settled Giuffre's lawsuit out of court for a reported £12 million without admitting guilt. The royal family moved on. The public did not. He now lives in near isolation at Royal Lodge, Windsor, excluded from official royal events. That single photograph, once a quiet snapshot from an evening in London, has become the image of a monarchy's reckoning. It is proof that even princes cannot hide from the unforgiving lens of truth. Chris Brown. In the mid-2000s, Chris Brown was the golden boy of R&B, young, charming, and supremely talented.
I'm so glad that you're mine. You are one of a kind.
His smooth vocals and flawless choreography drew comparisons to Michael Jackson. At just 19, he was selling millions of albums, topping Billboard charts, and dating pop princess Rihanna, creating what fans called the perfect celebrity couple. But in February 2009, one image destroyed that illusion and changed how the world saw him forever. The photograph, released by TMZ, showed Rihanna's face battered and bruised, her lips split, her eyes swollen. It was a police evidence photo taken after a violent altercation the night before the Grammy Awards. The image went viral instantly. No headline or defense could soften it. The world saw what words couldn't deny. Brown was charged with felony assault and making criminal threats. He pleaded guilty, received 5 years of probation, and was ordered to complete domestic violence counseling and community service. That photo became one of the most shocking in music history, not because of gossip, but because it exposed the reality behind fame's glittering surface. Brown did return to music, releasing chart-topping albums and collaborating with major artists. Yet the shadow of that photo has never lifted. Rihanna has since rebuilt her life, becoming a billionaire entrepreneur and mother, while Brown remains trapped between public forgiveness and memory. That single image didn't just mark the fall of a pop icon, it became a permanent symbol of how violence leaves scars that no fame, apology, or hit record can erase. Vanessa Williams. In 1984, Vanessa Williams made history. At just 20 years old, she became the first African-American woman ever crowned Miss America, a symbol of progress, grace, and talent in a nation still struggling with racial divides. She represented more than beauty, she represented possibility. But less than a year later, one set of photographs, never meant for the public eye, would bring that dream crashing down. The scandal erupted in July 1984, when Penthouse magazine announced it would publish a series of unauthorized nude photographs of Williams. The pictures, taken 2 years earlier by photographer Tom Chiapple when she was working as an assistant in a studio, were never intended for release. Williams said she had been assured the negatives would be destroyed. Instead, they were sold to Penthouse for a reported $50,000. Before the issue even hit shelves, the Miss America organization demanded her resignation. It was a moment that shocked America, not only because of the scandal, but because of what it revealed about double standards, race, and morality. Social commentary exploded. Was she punished for poor judgment or for daring to be the first Black woman to hold the title? Many argued that her fall reflected America's discomfort with both race and sexuality. Over the years, she rebuilt her career from the ground up, becoming a Grammy-nominated singer, Tony Award nominee, and respected actress, best known for roles in Ugly Betty and Desperate Housewives. In 2015, the Miss America organization formally apologized, 32 years later, inviting her back as head judge, symbolically restoring the dignity that was stripped away. And in 2025, Vanessa Williams stands not as a scandal survivor, but as a pioneer who turned disgrace into legacy. The crown may have been taken, but the woman never fell. Al Franken. Before the scandal, Al Franken embodied one of America's most unlikely success stories. A former Saturday Night Live writer and comedian, he made the rare leap from entertainment to politics, winning a U.S. Senate seat in 2008 and becoming a respected progressive voice in Washington. Sharp, articulate, and reform-minded, Franken was admired for his humor and intellect. But in late 2017, during the height of the #MeToo movement, one photograph turned admiration into outrage. The image, first published by KABC Radio, showed Franken on a military flight to the Middle East in 2006 during a USO tour. In the photo, he's grinning at the camera while pretending to grab the chest of Leon Tweeden, a fellow performer who was asleep and wearing a flak vest. Tweeden later accused him of forcibly kissing her during a rehearsal. The combination of the photo and her account spread instantly across social media. Franken issued an apology, said he was embarrassed and felt ashamed. The Senate Ethics Committee began an inquiry, and within weeks, more women came forward with similar allegations of inappropriate behavior. Under immense pressure from fellow Democrats, Franken announced his resignation in December 2017, stating, "Some of the allegations against me are simply not true." In 2025, Franken lived quietly in New York, hosting a political podcast and occasionally appearing on progressive panels. Though the smiling snapshot from that flight still lingers, a frozen moment that redefined accountability in American politics. Dani Mathers. In 2015, Dani Mathers was living the dream. The Los Angeles native had just been named Playboy's Playmate of the Year, hosted a morning radio show, and cultivated a glamorous online persona built on fitness and beauty. But within a year, one careless photo would transform her from a symbol of confidence into a symbol of cruelty. In July 2016, Mathers secretly took a photo of a 70-year-old woman showering in an LA fitness gym locker room, a space where photography was strictly prohibited. She posted the image to Snapchat with a caption that read, "If I can't unsee this, then you can't either." Within hours, screenshots spread across the internet, and outrage followed. LA Fitness immediately revoked her membership for life. She was fired from her KLOS radio job, and the Los Angeles Police Department launched a criminal investigation. The public reaction was scathing. What made this case different wasn't just the law, it was the moral dimension. Years later, Mathers has largely disappeared from Hollywood. In 2025, she lives quietly, posting sporadically about mental health and self-acceptance. Whether that represents remorse or reinvention is unclear. But her story remains one of the starkest lessons of the digital age. When cruelty becomes content, no filter can save you. Matt Hancock. In 2021, Matt Hancock was one of Britain's most powerful men. As Health Secretary, he stood at the forefront of the UK's COVID-19 response. But behind closed doors, he was breaking those same rules. And one photograph would make sure the world knew it. The image, published by The Sun in June 2021, came from CCTV footage inside Hancock's ministerial office. It showed him passionately kissing his aide Gina Coladangelo, a married woman he had secretly hired as an advisor. The timestamp revealed the encounter occurred at the height of lockdown restrictions, when the government he represented had banned indoor contact between households. At first, Hancock tried to hold his position, calling the affair a private matter. But under mounting political and public pressure, he resigned, stating, "Those of us who make these rules have got to stick by them." The scandal cost him not only his job, but also his marriage and credibility. In the years since, Hancock has tried to rebuild. As of 2025, Hancock has shifted toward private business and public speaking, focusing on digital health innovation. Yet the shadow of that CCTV still remains, a single frozen frame that forever captured Britain's fury, and a reminder that during a crisis, hypocrisy can be as viral as the disease itself. Gary Hart. Gary Hart was the rising star of the Democratic Party, young, charismatic, and viewed as the man who could take back the White House from Reagan's Republicans. A former senator from Colorado, Hart represented a new kind of politician, intelligent, reform-minded, and almost certain to win the 1988 Democratic nomination. But one reckless photo would destroy it all. Reporters from the Miami Herald staked out his DC townhouse and photographed Donna Rice, a 29-year-old model and actress, sitting on Hart's lap aboard a yacht called Monkey Business. The photo, showing him in a t-shirt reading Monkey Business Crew, exploded across the front pages, becoming one of the most infamous political images in American history. The damage was instant. Within days, Hart's campaign collapsed under the weight of scandal and moral scrutiny. He suspended his run, citing the unbearable intrusion into his private life. In hindsight, the incident marked a turning point in American politics, when tabloid culture and political journalism began to merge, forever changing how candidates were judged. Michael Dukakis. When Michael Dukakis secured the Democratic nomination in 1988, he seemed poised to restore the party's credibility after the Hart scandal. As governor of Massachusetts, Dukakis was known for integrity, intellect, and discipline. But one ill-fated photo opportunity, intended to project strength, ended up making him a national punchline. During a September campaign stop at a General Dynamics plant in Michigan, Dukakis climbed into an M1 Abrams battle tank wearing a large helmet labeled with his name. Smiling broadly, he waved to cameras as the tank rumbled forward. His campaign wanted to prove he wasn't soft on defense, but the photo backfired instantly. The oversized helmet and awkward grin made him look comically out of place, an image that Republicans turned into a devastating attack and portraying him as naive and unfit for command. The image spread across television and newspapers, defining his campaign's downfall. Later, he admitted that was a mistake. In 2025, Dukakis, now in his early 90s, remained a respected voice in public policy and academia, teaching at Northeastern University. Yet, for many Americans, his name still conjures that one awkward grin beneath a tank helmet, a single picture that crushed a campaign built on logic, not theater. Sometimes, all it takes is a single flash, one click of a camera, to erase a lifetime of fame. For the celebrities who ruined their career with one photo, the fall wasn't just about what they did, it was about what the world chose to see. A split second of arrogance, cruelty, or hypocrisy can live forever in pixels, reshaping history faster than any apology ever could. Yet behind every scandal lies something deeper, the fragility of reputation in a world that never forgets. These aren't just cautionary tales, they're reflections of us, the audience that watches, reacts, and judges. So before you scroll past another viral picture, ask yourself, how much truth can one image really hold? If you've been captivated by these unbelievable stories, don't forget to like, share, leave a comment, and turn on the notification bell, because the next career-ending photo might already be out there.